since the curse was cast. Everlight Kingdom, they're on a quest to save their ass. Journey with us as we tell you the tale. It goes down rough like a pure mountain nail. Everlight Kingdom, down at Everlight.
What was supposed to be a quick trip to a nearby farm suddenly became a death trap from fate itself as the Cursed Ones lost themselves in the wilderness of Everlight, happening upon a cyclops stomping ground. In their preparation to escape, Francis, Pebbles, Lucian, and Nightshade all fell to their affliction, dropping unconscious in the open. Thanks to Mac's quick thinking and a traveling band of Mountain Orc hunters nearby, the Cursed Ones were rescued before the Cyclops could notice their presence and pummel them into a pureed party. During the daring rescue, Mac and the leader of the Orc hunters, Giggug, entered into a melee with the ferocious beast, resulting in Giggug's untimely death and Mac becoming a nail hammered down by the Cyclops' enormous club. We now join Mac, who awakens later, battered, bruised, and permanently disfigured.
Mac, you've been out for a while. It was like dead noon when you became the nail. And now it is probably closer to 8 o'clock, 8:30. You slowly regain consciousness. Your vision is fuzzy, but maintained. Your memories are intact.
Do I have one like small eye and one dilated one?
You can if you want to. But you do look and you see you're a fair ways up now. I would say you're probably about half a mile up into the air. As you're riding and you try to maintain your composure, you're basically feeling like sleep paralysis. And you look over and you see the orc riding the horse in front of you, making no mind to look back. It's a pretty brutish individual, seemingly nonchalant, and only doing this out of obligation. As you kind of slowly close your eyes, you're able to wake back up what feels like hours later, but realize maybe about 17 minutes. And you open up and you can see distant lights in the horizon as you're riding up this mountain towards them. You're not deep into the mountains, so you can still look to your right and still see the vast open land of Everlight just emptying out to the vast expanse ahead of you. But as you kind of slip back into unconsciousness, you're woken back up a few minutes later by the sound of like muffled voices and people running back and forth, and you can hear like a distant campfire and a horn being sounded. Try to make sense of your circumstance, but you just can't quite make it as you drift back off into unconsciousness. Pebbles, Nightshade, Lucian, Francis, you guys softly regain consciousness. Pebbles, the thing that wakes you up is this peculiar odor of urine.
I immediately throw up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You do. You guys wake up in it's a makeshift hut, and it's very dark inside. There's no light coming in outside of a couple torches. You are laying down on basically bedrolls made of furs from particular animals. There's no consistency to them. And as you guys kind of regain consciousness, the flap to this tent opens. It's very dark outside, and a large orc carrying another orc over his shoulder. Mac, you are dropped onto the floor with no grace or care. You just kind of plop down like a sack of potatoes, and you kind of wiggle around a little bit. You guys see Mac's head is like, there is an impression. You're kind of surprised he's even alive.
Not like you won, guys.
That's what a hero.
Are we all up now?
Why don't each of you guys make a much easier Constitution saving throw for me to see which one of you live out first?
20, 15. Jack.
13. Plus 5. 4. So my things are plus 5, so it's 13.
Make a moldy 20 with disadvantage for me.
11. 6.
What's your Constitution modifier?
5.
5? Okay. So yeah, 11. Okay. So each of you guys wake up around the same time.
I'm actually a lot better than
Can't get done.
there any water or soap around me?
There is a basin of water, and I also will say that this does not qualify as a long rest, so you guys don't get any benefits from it.
Short rest?
Not even a short rest.
So he has like 1 health.
Nobody.
Yeah, he's at 1 HP.
We're not like restrained or anyway.
No. You literally look like you just woke up from a nice sleep, even though you don't feel like you did.
I mean, like the outbrand. That isn't like it's any. It's not like it's jail cell.
No. It looks like just a general like tent. It looks like a healer's tent almost.
Thankfully, y'all don't know the mistake I made.
Mac, I will say that per result of your dice roll, not only the head dead was a result of it, and also you will never grow hair back in that area. And now people will think you're a monk. Yeah, to answer your question, Pebbles, there is a small basin of water in the corner.
I'm going to go clean myself.
All right, by all
Because
means.
I will be constantly throwing up.
All right. So you start kind of splashing the water on yourself. It's hard to tell what this water is, but it's definitely not urine, so you're covered there.
As long as it doesn't smell like this.
Yeah.
So the way in the room right now is just the party. There's no other.
Nobody else there. The orc that dropped him off hasn't left the orc.
Oh yeah, I just want to know if anybody knows where we are. I'm assuming no one does though.
He might.
Right, are we able to walk?
Yeah, you're feeling a little fatigued, but it's not going to prevent you. You're not in any condition.
I'm gonna get him and be like, where are we at? What's wrong with your head? Get Gug. Get Gug. Is that your new name?
And then we like Hodor.
Yeah. Look at Hodor.
God. He doesn't know where we're at. I'm gonna peek out the tent whenever it's viable for me to do that.
Sure, you can go ahead and do that. You peek out the tent, and you are greeted by the sight. And well, first of all, you're greeted by a potent smell of cooking meat and burning timber. You're in a mountainous terrain area. The ground beneath you is this dark brownish dirt. When you look out the tent, you realize that you're in a segmented section with a lot of gravel laid on the ground. There's quite a few tents, as well as a statue in the center that is completely shattered. You can also hear the faint sounds of running water, and you can see a few orcs walking around, living their lives. You can see like one pair of orcs are having a friendly discussion that results in one cracking its knuckle and punching the other straight in the face. You see some picking up items like some bundles of sticks to put back in the fire. You see a handful of orcs going about their day-to-day life. It's not clear if this is all that there is to this settlement, but from what you can see, it's just a small little section of tents.
So if I can get anybody's attention, just kind of...
Sure. Come here. You emerge from the tent. What do you do?
Just kind of... We're trying to like make eye contact with anybody.
There's a guy at that desk.
So, you kind of wave your hand, look around. For the most part, you go ignored. Occasionally, one brutish big orc with large muscles and wearing nothing but a loincloth gets up from the fire, looks at you, shoots you a look, and just kind of walks past you, making it known that he noticed you but didn't do anything. And you hear behind you, "They won't do anything for you, I'm afraid." And you turn around and you see a very feeble, older orc wearing tribalist robes. When I say tribalist, I don't mean a particular tribe. I mean, like, it's wearing robes with a symbol on it.
It's like a witch doctor.
Yeah, he even has, like, a long staff that looks like it's supposed to hold an object at the top, but it's just not. So it's basically just branches sticking into each other. Welcome to Mado. As you walk out with him, you look around and you realize there is much more to this area than you once thought. Across the way, there's like this gravel almost forms like streets, kind of, and you're at like an intersection. Across the way, there is a large wooden structure, and you can hear a bunch of shouting coming from it. And you turn around and you see that you're actually near a cliffside, and there is a wooden bridge extending to another cliffside. And or opposite the cliff that you're currently on, and it has large, sharp wooden structures acting as fences. And in the center is a much bigger tent, not too dissimilar to the one you were just in, but much larger and 2 stories.
What's that?
That's the chieftain's palace.
Can go to the chief.
Things the chieftain.
Chieftain is Slapdud Orbach, and you?
I'm Francis.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Francis. You and your friends look like you took quite a beating.
You and your
Especially that one friend.
I don't actually know that we were. Or I remember. I just remember just getting.
All you remember literally is all that happened. You ran, and then right as you started feeling faint, you're like, I'm not going to make it. You cast the elite,
Right.
fell asleep.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened. We just kind of all fell out. I'm not sure what happened to anyone, to be honest. I just woke up dead.
One of our hunting parties, they claimed that they found you and your friends and brought you back here. They made the story sound much more grandiose than it probably was.
I agree.
He says, well, don't worry, get your rest. The chief will want to speak to you. Come downing.
Are you some kind of magic man, or...
If you were to ask me what I would be called, I would say I'm a magic man. But alas, I am not. I'm just a local healer.
You ever seen this?
You hold your hand up to bear the mark, and he looks at it, and his eyes get a little shifty, and he kind of squints, and he looks closer, and he goes, oh dear, that's not good. How long have you had this?
2 days?
2 days, yeah.
And no.
Well, if you'll come with me to the tent, I can explain more to you. People around here are a little superstitious. They don't like talking about curses openly. You guys in the tent, Pebbles, you're finishing cleaning up yourself. What you got?
Do I still have my...
Yeah, you still have it. Yeah, it's fine. Thankfully, it was not damaged. There may be like a small crack on it, but it's not enough to be a concern. The tent flap opens back up, and the shaman and Francis walk back in. All right, so... Who cast this on you?
It was in some kind of cursed liquid that we all drank.
At the Harvest Festival, it was given to us by a goblin bartender.
Interesting. Do you know the bartender's whereabouts, by any chance?
No, but we'd like to.
I'm sure you would. So let's get down to brass tacks. You are cursed. And this is not your average everyday, I'm gonna turn into a mummy kind of curse. This is gonna turn me into a newt kind of curse. You will experience sharp pain coursing through you. You will find it difficult to remain conscious. Essentially, what's happening is your body is slowly turning into a monster, and the course of nature is combating it, which is causing some of these... I'm sure there's causing some weariness in you. The longer this goes untreated, the closer you will be to death.
We do have a lead on where we need to go, but we haven't made there yet. We got distracted or sidetracked. It's being here.
He starts stroking his very long beard, and he just goes, oh. Well, as much as I would love to continue talking, I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut it short here, but... if you're willing to speak to the chief tomorrow, we may have some good news for you.
How long do you think we'll have?
We'll discuss it tomorrow. Unfortunately, I would be doing my tribe a disservice if I continued to explain myself, so permit me. I must return to my tent. Someone will come get you tomorrow morning when the chieftain is ready for you. In the meantime, and he looks over at Mac, and he goes, oh my god! It's a good gun! Did someone... was he dropped as a baby?
No. We woke up and he was like that.
He woke up like this.
He actually looked better now.
He runs over to you.
Like Glenn.
The shaman runs over to you, and he grabs your face and starts twisting you around, looking at the den. He goes, oh dear. And he gets up and he runs over to the other side of the tent, and he goes on one of the tables, and he gets some mortar and pestle and starts grinding together some herbs.
Who the hell is Gingug? I asked the old guy.
Gingug, one of our warriors, one of our best hunters, and you start shaking your head up. No,
Hey, stop it. Gingug.
As you do that, he looks back. He goes, "What's wrong? Where's Gingug?" And he drops some more pestle, and he goes up to you. Goes, "Where's Gingug?" You make a little. You hold your hands up and just create like a slap. And the shaman looks kind of heartbroken. You start screaming and recreating the motions that the cyclops did when he swung. He looks very concerned and nervous, and he continues mixing together the herbs and creates a small half a bottle of potions. And he runs over to you and he goes, "Open mouth." Stick your tongue out. Here comes the cyclops. He gently pours a vial in your mouth. It heals you for 2 HP.
As much as I can get.
The shaman, clearly disturbed by the knowledge that something may have happened to Gig Gug, goes, "Well, I must depart. See you each in the morning, get some rest. You clearly need it. And he tries to keep his cards close to his chest and tries to confidently walk out of the tent as if something is not really bothering him.
Is there anything to eat?
There's some jerky I'll bring you. It's about all we've got that you drink. That basin over there is water. You can fill up your flasks if you want some.
Look at her as what she's watching.
yeah, she's washing it. It's like, yeah, guys, it's great.
I'm like in it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
He walks out of the tent and closes it behind him, and you can hear him kind of stop outside the tent, and you hear like a... And you proceeded to the footsteps slowly become distant.
No, I run in and say we get some rest while we're safe here. Beats walking in the dead of night. I'm meditating and I'll sleep.
Okay, you meditate. Get a nice long rest in. You guys are not woken up naturally. Instead, you guys are woken up by the sound, by the bright light pouring in from the tent flap opening, and a large, shadowy figure going, "Get up! Captain wants to see us."
You're full health. Are you still saying get going? Where are you finding out?
I'm still a little shook, but I'm not saying give Gug anymore.
Yeah, you're able to form complete sentences now. You can look out and you can see through the sunrise, the mist has dissipated, the clouds have parted, and you're able to see the vast expanse of Everlight. It's pretty, it's nice. You don't really get to see the kingdom from this view hardly ever, so it's fairly nice to see. The ugly orc snaps his finger once and points back towards him. You guys follow him, and you guys walk towards the edge where the in this section of the mountain it splits, like there's a divide and there's a chasm beneath this rickety wooden bridge. And as you approach it, you see below you there is sort of a brook underneath it. It's fairly far below you. It's hard to tell how far the drop would be. But you don't really spend much time focusing on that because it becomes even more concerning how shoddily this bridge is made. And it's going to be easy, but I'm going to ask each of you guys to make a dexterity check.
I'm going to fail.
I got advantage on it.
Yeah.
Then 11.
6. Push the race.
10. I got an 11.
13.
You guys are very mindful about where you put your feet. Basically what it is, it's just a collection of wooden boards without any real clear idea of how to straighten them out. You can tell that this was handcrafted. The boards, there's no they aren't really lined up side by side. Some of them are kind of crooked.
A few feet apart.
Yeah, a few feet. Some planks are just missing in general. You're surprised that these orcs make this walk every day. It's like the bridge scene from The Last of Us Part 2. And as you guys cross, sometimes you may have some near misses. You come close, Francis, to having your leg slip through one of the cracks, but you step back over it. You don't fall through, you just book it up a little bit like, fuck, I gotta pay attention. And you make your way towards this large orcish structure. It's much more like a 2-story hut. There are, sections of large wooden pikes sticking into the ground, creating a fence line beside it. And as you walk up, ugly orc walking you stops at the door, and he goes, "Go on in." And he walks off. It's clear common is not his first language. Sitting in the center of this large throne room, basically. It's like a hall. Interior actually kind of looks like a tavern. There's some long picnic tables set up, campfire also over to the side, and there's a few orcs sitting around drinking and being merry. There's some sharpening their swords, and in the center of the room is a large throne, and sitting atop it is this beastly orc wearing sort of rugged clothing, not necessarily, he doesn't look of nobility, but he clearly, these are clothes that he is choosing to wear, not because they make him look good, but because they're just comfortable and just what he wanted to wear. He's got one arm resting on the throne. He's got one on the other side on the other armrest opposite that one. He's got his elbow propped up, his hands kind of lifting off to the side, his fingers kind of just gently waving, and there is a female orc kind of polishing some armor behind him, and he looks back and then wiggles 2 of his fingers pointing at him. She comes over, kisses him on the lips, and then goes back to shining the armor. At this time, you guys are now coming up to the throne, which is elevated a bit with some stairs leading up to it. This structure is probably the most impressive in the entirety of this village, whereas most of it is mostly makeshift huts and tents. This hut is, I said earlier, it was like your tent. I meant to say this one has a lot more work put into it. You can tell this building was built first and it's the most well-maintained. The throne and the stage that it's on are made of stone. As you approach, the orc fixes its eyes on each of you and says, "Did you sleep okay?"
Yes.
Good. So, I don't need to mince words. I think it's pretty fair to say we usually don't like humans hanging around our camp, so originally what I was summoning you here for was just to tell you to get the hell out. But, Tasserol, he changed my plans a little bit. And then he points at you, Francis, and he goes, "Your mark. We know it. We're familiar with it. You know how someone like me becomes king of these parts? You see opportunities, you take them. So," claps his hands. The shaman that you spoke with earlier comes up wearing just wearing a different color robe this time. "We can't cure your curse, but we can stave off its effects for a while. But that's not going to come free. I see we're in a good position. I mean, not you. Looking at Mac. You take care of a problem for me. We're going to make you some herbs. You take them. Can't cure it, but it'll slow it down enough to where you won't have any more passing out episodes. You won't have any more nausea. May buy you some extra time."
Do we have the recipe also if we finish
The shaman goes, It's a one-time effect. I didn't tell you to fucking speak. We'll give you the recipe if you do a good enough job. Who knows? You may need it for someone else who has the same problem, or you can sell it. Fuck, why not? He gets up and he kind of points 2 fingers up, and then rotates his hand towards himself, and then points the 2 fingers at him a few times. When you guys follow him up the stairs, and you go to a large table on the stage behind the throne, next to where the armor is being polished. The big buff orc who approached you guys earlier is standing at the table with both his hands pressed down on it. He's looking over a large map which is unrolled on the table. The large orc chief goes, "Talk to him. He'll fill you in. Hopefully next time we speak the problem will be solved and we can part ways." And he goes back to his throne. The large orc, who again does not speak common very well. Yeah, you could if you spoke as an orcish.
I'll say what he says in Orcish.
So what happens there is at first he goes, "You," and you let him know, "Hey," and
I an orc.
I can translate. He speaks to you in Orcish, and he goes, "Oh, okay. So what we're looking at is I need you guys. Well, I don't. Chief does. Needs you guys." And he points towards the map, and it's hand-drawn, not professionally made. It's a map of the mountainous area, and he kind of draws very rough directions towards one centered area, draws a large circle. Right here, there is a bandit outpost. They've been a problem for a little while. They interrupt our hunting parties. They've occasionally caused trouble for us here at camp. They've just been a general nuisance. We'd like them eliminated. You take care of this. Our chief will give you some herbs to stave off the effects of your curse. Sound good to me? Sound good to you?
What kind of bandits? Tell them. I mean,
What kind of bandits?
In general, just escaped convicts, serial killers.
So we don't have like a wizard that's gonna like kill us all in one blow, right?
If they have one, they've kept it really well hidden.
are they human? Are they
Humans?
orcs? Are they?
We're talking humans.
Are they gnomes?
We're talking a couple humans, a half elf, a dwarf.
What they packing? They armored up, or are they?
They're well armored for convicts. Actually, they've got really well made swords. They're not dealing with what we're dealing with, or we make all our weaponry ourselves. These guys have clearly either spent a lot of money on their products, or they've stolen it off of better people. They have really well manufactured crossbows, short swords, long swords, daggers, bows, arrows,
Sound like
bombs.
an armory to me.
What's their camp like? Is it out in the open, or is it?
Well, that's the thing, is that, and he points back to the area he drew, which, by the way, is a trek down the mountains back into the forest.
Yeah.
He says, we don't fully know where their camp is. We've located them in this general area. Their camp could be underground, could be anywhere, but that's your job to figure out.
What's their number? That's what
Okay, what can we have? How many people do they have?
I thought you said, I thought he was asking for like their phone number.
Oh yeah, what's this one? We're gonna hit him up and tell him about it.
Yeah, text him, be like, you up?
This is Flaming Dragon.
He says, you're looking at about, excluding their leader, we're talking about 8 people in Playweight.
Okay.
And after you say that, he nods, and he looks at the rest, and he just goes, and then goes back to looking over the map.
I do an orc handshake. I said all that.
Okay. You kept stopping him to repeat what he said. Exactly.
The longer we take to get it done, the worse we're going to be feeling, so we probably should get going.
Yeah, let's go put these guys
Can
out.
we get some horses to do it?
Yeah, do you guys got any horses? You fucking animals.
This is what we do. I mean, that's what we gotta do, let the meat go to waste. Besides, we only have 2 horses left, and they're currently out for the hunting parties right now. We're not really interested in parting with them. Sorry.
Okay.
What about that wagon that we came in on?
They have one of the wagons with them.
I see.
There's only 2 horses to carry the wagon. Alright, let's get going.
Alright, let's go. Okay.
So you guys walk in, the chieftain, relaxing in his throne, massaging his head, looks at you guys, goes, I expect good results. Get back soon. You got 72 hours. If you don't come back within that time frame, we're going to assume you're just dead.
What's work? How much worse will we get in the next 72 hours if that takes how long to get there and back?
He looks and he kind of grimaces and he looks over, and the shaman goes, it depends on how much you exert yourself. The more physical energy you force out, the effects of the curse will increase. It's treated like you would having the common cold. You know, it's not an immediate concern, but you should probably let work know. The mountain climb down will be difficult. We make no such promises that you won't begin feeling the effects on the way down. But if you're able to stave off the effects and make it to the camp and come back in one piece, you won't feel great, but it'll be the last time you feel that way, at least until you...
Alright, well I guess we're leaving then.
Alright, let's go.
As we're walking, like, this kingdom sucks. What kingdom would have Korean wars?
Well then why didn't you bring any?
He's riding you.
See, I'm the searcher for people. Bring the wars.
You've been listening to Everlight Kingdom. Game mastered by JT Fondren. Music by Travis Savoy. Theme song by Adam Blotner. Sound effects and atmosphere from Sirinscape. Special thanks to our amazing players. And a big thank you to our listeners for joining us on this adventure. Don't forget to subscribe to Everlight Kingdom and leave us a review. And check out altaloom.com for more RPG podcasts and stories.
Altaloom.com. Adventures too big for the table.